that autumn wind. Shout out to the Raiders, man, we about to win.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report presented by BMW of Santa Maria. Show them some love. Type some BMWs in the comments section below. I got the latest Raiders news and rumors. And the first thing I'm going to dive into here, the Oakland Raiders are not going to sign a wide receiver in free agency. I'm going to give this one 3 Chucky Heads, and I think it's pretty likely. I really wanted to be able to give it 4 Chucky Heads, but sometimes crazy things happen. Speaking of crazy things, like Hunter Renfrow going down and potentially being out the entire year. Now, this is definitely going to be a big loss for this Oakland Raiders team, and we're going to need players like Tyrell Williams, Zay Jones to step up. And a corresponding move, the Raiders have promoted Rico Gafford now to the active roster. So I think the addition of Rico Gafford is more or less just hey, we need bodies, we need depth, because this week when John Gruden spoke about potential Hunter Renfrow replacements, he mentioned 4 players and 4 players in particular. And now I broke down these 4 players on a video earlier this week. If you haven't seen it, go check it out on the Raiders Report. So the first player that he talked about being a Hunter Renfrow replacement was Keelan Doss, and expect Keelan Doss to get some more playing time. Another player, Darren Waller. Waller is our best option, I think, in the receiving game, so look for them trying to get their best player in the best positions. The next player was Zay Jones, a player Mike Mayock loved coming out of ECU, who played a lot in the slot. And then last was Derek Carrier. Now, I think John just kind of mentioned Carrier in the aspect of he's just going to be able to block, and if we need an extra player who we can rely on as a tight end in the red zone, look for Carrier then to also maybe, just maybe, get some slots positions in there. Now, I'm very, very thankful for Raider Nation, and I want you guys to comment below what you're thankful for. Thanksgiving is tomorrow, or depending when you watch this video, and I just want to let you guys all know that I appreciate every single one of you that already come here and watch the show. So Silver Wind, D. Mendy, Remy, McGillicuddy, 6979. I appreciate you guys. Now, I got a goal of hitting 35K subscribers. Currently, I'm at 32,735. I want to be able to go to Raiders Jags, and I want to be able to hang out with all of you. So, Tony Romo, Ron Justice, tell all your friends to subscribe. YouTube.com/Raiders Report. Now, let's get into some of these rumors that I've been seeing floating around the internet that the Raiders' top free agent wide receiver target in 2020, it's A.J. Green. This one for me is 0 Chucky Heads, tuck rule, tuck that. I like A.J. Green. He's a very talented wide receiver. The issue is, and since today's show is brought to you by BMW of Santa Maria, A.J. Green is a beautiful car that just doesn't have tires at the moment. It just doesn't do you much good watching A.J. Green sit on the side of the road. But sure, when he's actually on the road, when his tires are working, A.J. Green is a very, very good wide receiver. Now, I saw an article from Raiders Wire that basically ranks all the Raiders' top wide receiver targets in 2020. Now, I just don't agree with A.J. being the top one. Sure, if this is Madden and you can turn injuries off, A.J. Green is easily the top one. But you can't do that. He hasn't played a single snap the entire year. He's been banged up with injuries. And honestly, I don't see A.J. Green leaving the Cincinnati Bengals. Sure, I wish he would, because the Bengals are not very good. And I wish A.J. Green would end up leaving, because he's the type of player, man, in today's NFL, when you got all these divas, A.J. Green just shuts up and plays football, and it's why I will always, always respect A.J. Green, and I want everyone right now to throw A.J. in the comments section. Now, I got a question, though, okay? I'm about to give you guys another name. So I want you to name a wide receiver the Oakland Raiders should target in free agency. Now, before I give you this next name, and before I give you another name of who I want you guys to pick, I'm seeing a lot of AJs in the comments section. So name a wide receiver Oakland should target in free agency. I know car buying is a hassle, and nobody wants to get stuck paying too much. So we've got the best lease and pre-owned deals here on the Raiders Report. Now, we're calling it Renz's Rides, and you guys know that I've teamed up with BMW Santa Maria. What I haven't told you is right next door, Community Volkswagen, who is also a part of BMW Santa Maria. Now, they have an unbelievable deal going on right now. The Volkswagen Sign and Drive event is going on right now. And to tell you a little bit about it, to get this, 0 money down, 0 security deposit, $0 first month's lease payment, $0 due at signing for qualified buyers. How do you get it? Community Volkswagen of Santa Maria. So I said, Matt, Rudy, send me your 2 best deals for the nation. This is what they gave me. The 2019 Volkswagen Jetta, the $195 a month, $0 down. How do you get that deal? Visit communityvdub.net in Santa Maria. Now, maybe you need something a little bit more spacious. So, Matt and Rudy, what they hooked me up with? This Volkswagen Atlas, $459 a month, 0 down. How do you get this one? communityvdub.net in Santa Maria. Don't wait, though. The deal ends December 2nd, so you got to take advantage of this deal right now. So now I got a question for everybody who's watching the Raiders Report. How much do you pay for your car per month? I want you to throw it in the comments section below. And you can see that below. No hassle test drive, communityvdub.net. So one more time. How much do you pay for your car per month? And if you don't have a payment, I want you to type 0 in the comments section below because Community Volkswagen of Santa Maria, they're hooking us up. Those are some pretty awesome deals. That one's for Chucky Heads Believe It, baby. So the next wide receiver that I think that the Oakland Raiders would actually be interested in 2020, and I saw this from Raiders Wire as well, so kind of ripped on him a little bit. Now I'm going to give him a little bit of love. This one to me is 3 Chucky Heads, and I do think it's pretty likely that the Oakland Raiders go out and target Robby Anderson in 2020. The biggest reason? Well, just a few weeks ago, there was a report that the Oakland Raiders were interested in going out and getting Robby Anderson. Now, I get it. He's set to become a free agent in 2020. You're going to have your ups. You're going to have your downs. And as Xavier Charles says, it's a waste of money. Maybe he's talking about Robby Anderson. I'm not quite sure. I still think Anderson, though, is a player that likes to stretch the field. What was one thing that the Raiders wanted to do this past offseason? Find field stretchers for Derek Carr. Now, I'll be honest. It would not shock me whatsoever to see Robby Anderson in some silver and black. It really wouldn't. One of the biggest reasons is if you go back and you look at Mike Mayock and John Gruden's track record, let's just say in the draft, they love players at the Senior Bowl. Why? Because they see them firsthand. What did the Raiders just see firsthand? Robby Anderson. 4 catches, 86 yards, 21.5 yards per catch there with a touchdown this past week. Now, this does kill me a little bit. Now, what makes this show, though, so much different than all other Raiders shows on YouTube, it's the nation. So, Ethan, Jamo, Larry Jackson, I see y'all commenting right now. Who's better for the Raiders? AJ Green or Robby Anderson? I want you to type AJ for AJ Green, and I want you to type RA for Robby Anderson. For me, if I'm looking at what it's going to cost a player plus how many games I'm going to get out of him, I'm going to type my RA. Now, I also see Blake. He agrees with me typing RA. Money Craig says AJ. Chris Smith says AJ. Right now, it's probably a little bit more favor of Robby Anderson, and I would agree with everyone that types Robby. I don't think he's as good of a player as AJ Green, but I'm also looking at it as money plus how many games I'm going to get out of them. So again, I'm going to type my RA. Let's go now into some more rumors here around the Oakland Raiders. Is the biggest need for this team right now linebacker? What do you guys think? How many Chucky Heads would you give this rumor? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is the biggest need right now for the Oakland Raiders linebacker. And I see somebody throwing out a name that you're about to see here in a little bit. I'm seeing some yeses from Rami. I'm seeing some yeses for Bobby. If you're wondering why you're not watching us live, it's probably because you don't have your notifications turned on. So let's get into it. I'm actually going to give this one 2 Chucky Heads, and people are talking. And who's talking? It's actually the nation, Raider Nation. So I went on the internet again, and I'm looking around here, and I'm seeing this poll by SB Nation, and they put out, what is the Raiders' biggest need right now? And 71% of the votes came back with linebacker. So here's the Raiders' linebacking depth chart right now. We know Vontaze Burfict suspended. Markel Lee, he comes back. Can come back this week, week 13. But then you're dealing with Kyle Wilber, Will Compton, Morrow, Brown, Whitehead. Sure, some of these players, I think, especially Whitehead with 80 tackles, has stepped up. But the Raiders do still need, I think, some help at linebacker. But I think we can all agree that the Raiders need help on defense. And that's kind of my biggest point here. We can add an edge rusher. You can add a free safety. You can add a safety, a cornerback. The Raiders need help in the secondary as well, which is why I gave this rumor only 2 Chucky Heads. So is linebacker the Raiders' biggest need right now? I want you to type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm going to give some shout-outs here. Ryan Taylor says all D. If you think that the Raiders' defense just needs to improve in general, I just want to see y'all spam D in the comments section below. Because if there is one thing that is really holding this team back, it is the defense. Now, I get it. There's been a lot of injuries. There's been a lot of turnovers. Some of our good young players have kind of been banged up. The Raiders' defense, though, is what needs to get better. And judging by all the live comments right now, I think we can all agree. So is linebacker the Raiders' biggest need? Type Y for yes or type N for no. All right, Renz's Rides is back. And I have 3 pre-owned deals from BMW of San Maria and Community Volkswagen that y'all need to see. So you want this 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee? You'll see below. I've hooked you guys up with a really simple link, chatsports.com/Jeep. This Jeep, only $25,500 and only 28,000 miles. The next car, you're in the market for a Honda? I got this 2016 Honda Accord, $17,495. I'll say it again, only $17,495. It's got 11,500 miles. That's like 150,000 miles, less than my car. And if you want to view this one, chatsports.com/Accord. Now, I might have saved the best for last. This one is really, really pretty. A 2018 Toyota Camry for only $20,400, 39,000 miles on this one. And if you want to view it, go to chatsports.com/Camry, but you better do it quick, because as soon as I get off this show, I'm going to chatsports.com/Camry. Now, if you want to get a hold of my man Matt or Rudy, this is what you got to do. Go to bmwsm.com or text Matt at 805-878-610. He is going to hook anybody up who watches the Raiders. Should the Raiders draft Isaiah Simmons? And I'm seeing in the comments, my man, yes, sir. You and I, man, we are on the exact same wavelength. This one is for Chucky Heads. Believe it, baby. So is the Raiders' biggest need right now a linebacker? Sure. Is the Raiders' biggest need right now in the secondary as well? Sure. Isaiah Simmons helps you fill both of those needs because this dude can play linebacker and he can play safety. So I saw a mock draft. Normally fan-sided makes me kind of want to rip my hair out. But fan-sided, and, shout out to Nick Ellis. He did a mock draft, and he had the Raiders selecting Isaiah Simmons, 14th overall, which is the Bears pick. Now, if he falls to 14, the Oakland Raiders better start doing cartwheels because of Simmons dropping down there. Now, you guys know that I respect Tom. Tom's the best in the industry when it comes to NFL draft coverage. There's no doubt about it. And he honestly has told me that he would not be surprised if Simmons is a top 10 pick, and he actually would have him even potentially as a top 5 pick on his big board. So I know Isaiah Simmons is very talented. You know the other thing I know? The Oakland Raiders, Mike Mayock, they love themselves some Clemson players. So if y'all see any Isaiah Simmons out there right now on the internet, him going to the Raiders, send it to me because I want to retweet it. I want to share it because if there is a way where I can get this guy in some silver and black, I am all about it. Now, the way that I want to do this question, I want you to name a player not named Isaiah Simmons, because that's who I just mentioned, that the Raiders should draft in 2020. I want you to throw it in the comments section below. I'll give some shout-outs here, and if you guys want me to do some more NFL draft stuff, make sure to let me know. So I'm seeing Mac. I'm seeing a lot of F the Donkeys. Is there a Donkey fan in there? I'm seeing some CeeDee Lamb. Okay, I'm all about CeeDee Lamb. Jerry Jeudy, Akuba, Evan Weaver, more Lambs, a lot of Lambs. So name a player you want the Raiders to draft in 2020. The last rumor, is Derek Carr bad in cold games? Now, I've been seeing this floated around out there a little bit, and I'm going to give this one 2 Chucky Heads, and people are talking. The person that I saw talking about this, well, it's an old head coach, Jack Del Rio, okay? And then I saw Trey Wingo, he posted this tweet. So, Coach Del Rio knows what he speaks of. Okay, said Derek Carr doesn't like cold weather games. And games where the temperature is under 40 at kickoff, here are Derek's numbers. 0-4 with 152 pass yards per game, 51% completion percentage, touchdown to interception ratio of 3-4, 9 total QBR. So temps at Arrowhead will be in the 30s on Sunday. So one more time, I'm going to show you these numbers, okay? This is what Derek Carr has done in cold weather games under 40 degrees. Sure, the reason why I gave it to Chucky Heads is because, yes, these numbers are not good. The thing that Trey and Del Rio failed to mention are the teams that Derek Carr had to go up against in these games. So the first team they had to go up against was the Broncos in 2014. A Peyton Manning-led Broncos team that went 12-4. A team that had one of the best defenses in the entire NFL. And then in the very next year, this Broncos team went on to win the Super Bowl. The next team then, the 2015 Chiefs, the 2016 Chiefs. Now, you can pick at Alex Smith, you can pick at the Chiefs all you want, but in those 2 years combined, they won 23 games. That's pretty good. So you got a Peyton Manning-led team and then 2 Chiefs teams that won 23 combined games. The last is the 2017 Eagles team. They won the freaking Super Bowl. Like, you're talking about 4 very elite teams right here. Now, sure, the numbers weren't good, but most quarterbacks would struggle against 2 Super Bowl caliber teams and then 2 10-plus win teams. Like, it makes me laugh that they're hiding out this. And the 4 combined records of those teams was 48-16. That's really flipping good. So if you see anybody say that Derek's bad against teams in the cold, the stats do prove it, but go show them this graphic and show them how good the teams are that they're playing. Now, right now, here are the AFC West standings. We got a tough game going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, the number 1 seed in the AFC West. And guess what? This game is going to be cold. It's going to be a cold game. There's no doubt about that. The over-under in this game is 51.5 points on BetDSI. All right? The Chiefs, they're favorite in this one by 10 points. The reason why I'm telling you guys all about this game is for 2 reasons, okay? 2 reasons. One, because you better be watching it. And the second reason, I'm going to be doing a watch party. So who's excited for a watch party? I want you to type me in the comments section below. But I'm not going to be doing the watch party on the Raiders channel. So what I want you guys to do right now is mark this in your calendar, and we need to just drain out my man Harrison because we're going to be live for Raiders vs. Chiefs watch party on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. So the link to that channel is below, youtube.com/chatsportstv. I'll say it again, youtube.com/chatsportstv. You better make sure that Raider Nation is repping me well on this because I got to drain out all the Chiefs fans. I got to drain out Harrison. So, Ryan Perez, Elias, Jake, yes sir, I better see you guys there. Make sure you guys subscribe to the main channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.